Ayman, the Imam's apprentice. I was trained to defend Islam. I never imagined I'd risk death for leaving it. Ayman's earliest memories were not of toys or cartoons, but of Quranic recitations echoing through the tiled halls of his home in Cairo. His father, Sheikh Mahmoud, was not just an imam, he was revered as a senior religious authority in their district. Their home regularly hosted scholars, politicians, and foreign students of Islam. From a young age, Ayman was taught that his destiny was set. He would become a scholar like his father. At 5, he began memorizing the Quran. At 10, he could recite it flawlessly. At 14, he was leading prayers. His father often introduced him to others by saying, "This one will carry my legacy." But beneath the surface of religious prestige, Ayman had questions he dared not ask out loud. Why did God feel distant, even as I prayed 5 times a day? Why did the fear of hell loom heavier than the hope of heaven? He pushed the doubts away, until one fateful afternoon in the Al-Azhar library changed everything. Ayman had been researching comparative religion when he stumbled upon a digital copy of the Injil, the New Testament, in Arabic. Out of curiosity, he downloaded it to his phone and read the first few chapters of Matthew. He was startled by the words of Jesus. "Blessed are the peacemakers. Love your enemies, forgive so you may be forgiven." He expected condemnation or blasphemy. Instead, he found a love that was unsettlingly personal. The teachings of Jesus pierced his heart in a way the legalism of his upbringing never had. Over the next weeks, Ayman read in secret, late at night under his blanket, brightness dimmed, praying not to be caught. He began watching testimonies of former Muslims on YouTube, drawn to stories of those who had met Isa in dreams. It sounded impossible, until it happened to him. One night he dreamed of a man clothed in radiant white standing by the Nile. The man spoke in Arabic. "Ayman, I know your heart. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Come to me." He woke in a cold sweat, heart pounding. That was Jesus, it had to be. Overcome with both awe and fear, he finally confided in his older brother Hassan. He thought Hassan might understand. He was wrong. By nightfall, his father knew. The punishment was swift and brutal. They seized his phone, tore apart his books, and locked him in his room. For 3 days, he was denied food. His father entered only to beat him and demand he repent. "You are shaming our family," Sheikh Mahmoud bellowed. "You are under a curse. Say the Shahada or I will kill you with my own hands." But Ayman refused. His lips cracked with thirst, his body bruised, but his spirit burned with a strange peace. He clung to the memory of the man in white. On the 4th night, help came from an unlikely source. Their neighbor, Mr. Gurgis, a quiet, middle-aged Coptic Christian, had noticed something was wrong. With the help of his teenage son, he broke the back window while the family was away and smuggled Ayman out. Disguised in a janitor's uniform, Ayman was rushed to a safe house run by Christians in southern Egypt. He lived there for a month, learning, healing, and growing in his new faith. He was baptized in secret, at dawn in a hidden courtyard with tears in his eyes and joy in his heart. But Egypt was not safe. Through connections in the underground church, Ayman was taken across the border into Sudan. There he filed for asylum through the UNHCR. It was a long and uncertain wait. There were days he slept on floors, faced sickness, and wept from loneliness. But he never regretted his decision. 18 months later, his application was approved. A Christian NGO in Lyon, France, sponsored him. When he arrived, he was greeted by a small house church and a sign that read, "Bienvenue, Frère Ayman." Welcome, Brother Ayman. Today, Ayman studies theology in France and volunteers at a refugee outreach center. He shares his testimony with boldness, especially with Arabic-speaking seekers. His Arabic New Testament is no longer hidden. It's worn from use, filled with underlines and notes. Sometimes, in the quiet of the night, Ayman reflects on the cost of his faith. The father who said he was dead, the brother who betrayed him, the home he lost. But then he remembers the man in white, the words in the dream, and the peace he now carries. "I lost everything," he says, "but I found Christ. And in him I found everything." Subscribe for more convert stories.